It was a bombshell.
The New York Times out with a new report detailing years of President Trump's tax returns.
He's paid almost no federal income taxes recently, just $750.
In 10 out of the 15 years before that, he reportedly paid no taxes at all.
Makes my blood boil.
Don't put much stock in it. It doesn't faze me.
What makes him exempt? It's not fair.
The New York Times' investigation giving the most expansive look yet at President Trump's business empire, detailing how his businesses were losing money year after year. The president paying only $750 in federal income tax the year he won the White House. And in 10 out of 15 years, he paid no federal income taxes at all. For someone who says that he is a billionaire, to have only paid $750 in federal taxes, what do you think that says?
Rich people engage in tax shenanigans all the time, but this appears to be a different level of that. You could be really rich and have a really bad year and end up paying no federal income taxes. The issue here is it was year after year after year.
It's a startling revelation about the Manhattan real estate mogul who built his reputation on The Art of the Deal and his reality show fame on The Apprentice.
I think that the American taxpayers deserve to know more about his returns.
What do you think that this report tells us about how President Trump has portrayed himself as a very successful, very wealthy businessman?
That he's not the art of the deal uber businessman that he portrayed himself as.
What's new and important is the Times has put irrefutable numbers around the reality of Trump's business life, the extent to which he pushes the boundaries of the law.
Author Tim O'Brien has known and reported on Trump for years.
This is the Donald Trump we have known for decades. He is someone who's a serial bankruptcy artist, and he is someone who's accustomed to gorging on debt that often gets him in trouble.
The president calling the report fake news when it first broke.
Well, first of all, I paid a lot, and I paid a lot of state income taxes, too. The New York State charges a lot, and I paid a lot of money in state. They treat me very...
Tell us what you paid in federal taxes.
I didn't tell them.
Tweeting today, I paid many millions of dollars in taxes, but was entitled, like everyone else, to depreciation and tax credits. His rival, Joe Biden, pouncing, releasing a campaign video comparing what average Americans pay in federal income tax to what the president paid. ABC News has not independently reviewed the more than 2 decades worth of documents obtained by the New York Times. Among the headlines, the president's questionable tax write-offs on $70,000 in hairstyling when he was on The Apprentice. And that his marquee hotel just blocks from the White House has lost more than $55 million since it opened in 2016. Would you say that President Trump essentially owes the American people money?
Even if people look at this and say, how could this be? That doesn't mean necessarily he didn't have a legal right to be able to do some of this stuff.
The president has often boasted of paying little or no taxes.
He didn't pay any federal income tax. So
That makes
if
me
he's
smart.
paid...
What is your tax rate?
It's none of your business. You'll see it when I release. But I fight very hard to pay as little tax as possible.
In 2018, he claimed in public filings he made nearly $435 million. But now, in private tax records, the Times reports the president lost $47.4 million.
I have very little debt to anybody. I don't need debt. You know, it's very interesting. I'm so liquid, I don't need debt.
Trump might have said he didn't need debt, but he certainly has it. According to the Times, his personal obligations total $421 million, some of that coming due as soon as next year. Trump, who vowed to pursue no new foreign deals as president, earned more than $73 million from his overseas business dealings during his first 2 years in the White House. The president of the United States could potentially owe upwards of $400 million.
He might be able to figure out a way to negotiate this, but you never want the president of the United States to be beholden to anyone.
Any president who has business dealings overseas and who is financially stressed poses a national security threat to the country because we can't trust that his or her judgment as president isn't impaired by their own financial self-interest.
Those famous businesses the president touts, from his golf courses here and in Europe to his hotels, lost millions year after year, according to the Times.
It really seems as though this is a business or a series of businesses that are on life support.
The paper also accuses the president and his companies of claiming aggressive deductions on some of those businesses, including at Mar-a-Lago when the president was in office. More than $109,000 for linens and silverware, and nearly $200,000 for landscaping.
I ask myself every time I am entering a deduction or suggesting a refund, is this something that the American people should be paying for? Because every refund, every deduction means fewer resources that the American people have at their fingertips.
Every president dating back to Jimmy Carter has publicly released his tax returns except one. For years, Trump has pinned his secrecy on an ongoing audit.
It's under routine audit. When the audit ends, I'm going to present them.
I've been under audit almost for 15 years. The IRS does not treat me well.
The Times says the audit likely stems from questions about a nearly $73 million tax refund the president received in 2010.
The IRS is now looking into whether or not that was a legitimate write-off.
An adverse ruling in that audit could cost Trump more than $100 million. Stories about Trump's business acumen have been swirling for years. In 1990, our Barbara Walter sat down with the then real estate magnate with questions about other deals.
Being on the verge of bankruptcy, being bailed out by the banks,
well, you don't have to say on
skating on thin ice and almost drowning, that's a businessman to be admired.
You say on the verge of bankruptcy, Barbara, and you talk on the verge, and you listen to what people are saying.
I talk to your bankers.
Well, that's fine. And what do they say? I mean, you know, depending on which banker you're talking to, what do they say? I don't know what the bankers have said. The plaza's a very valuable property. Everybody told me, oh, you paid too much, you paid too much. Now they're all saying what a great deal he made on the plaza.
For one of Trump's loyal supporters, these latest headlines don't shake his faith.
I don't think it will change anything in the Trump base. As a person who has attended 71 Trump rallies over the last 5 years, 8 this year, I see nothing but a groundswell of even more enthusiasm for the president.
Thumbs up, people.
Delaware businessman Richard Snowden is a front row Joe, a Trump devotee who tries to go to as many rallies as he can. Nightline co-anchor Byron Pitts met with Snowden in Cincinnati in 2019.
We wake up every day thanking the Lord that Donald Trump is our president.
He thinks today's news is nothing more than a distraction.
All of us know as business people, as tax-paying citizens, that you do everything you can to legally avoid paying a ton of taxes.
Snowden thinks it's okay Trump tried to avoid paying his taxes, but one thing that probably won't be avoided is the topic of taxes when the first presidential debate happens tomorrow.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.